Okay, I'll continue this. This next story I'm about to read is called Of Ants and Running Rocks. Of Ants and Running Rocks. At a truck stop in Wyoming, a middle-aged trucker was trying to dock his rig between two other rigs. When finished, the trucker got out of his truck and walked to the back to see how close he was to hitting something that looked like a concrete wall. As he examined it, he noticed to the south of him an old abandoned shack all by itself out on the bleak, snowy landscape. The house looked like it hadn't been inhabited in decades, being that any road that led up to it was hidden in grass now covered in snow. The trucker took his lunch and decided to hike over to the place for exercise. When he got to it, he noticed that it might have at one time been a bar and not a house, or that it could have been both. This place must have been abandoned since the early 1970s, he thought. Probably no one has been here since. But as he walked about and explored the place, he noticed he noticed a counter that looked like it had once been used for serving drinks. And on the counter, covered in thick dust, was a dusty plate with Arabic writing on it. Oh man, trucker grimaced. Even in here, you can't escape them. The trucker turned it over and saw a CD taped to the inside of it. Under the CD was a note with writing on it. The trucker started to pull off the CD to see what the note said. At that moment, the CD broke into two pieces, falling to the floor. Undaunted, he read the note. Ignore what's on the back of this note. The project has been changed and become the project has changed and become more hard-hitting. It is planned to become more so. Ignoring the written instructions, the trucker read what was on the back of the note anyway and felt bad that the CD had snapped in two. Damn, he said to himself. Looks like it might be a key to how to destroy Islam. Looks like it, yeah, might have been a key to destroy Islam. Probably left here by some crazy rapture fanatic Christian. The trucker started ripping at his beef jerky, looking about the place one last time. Right when he was about to leave the place, he glanced up to the shattered light bulb in the bathroom and noticed another plate with Arabic writing. The trucker took it down, this time more gently. 15 minutes later, the trucker made it back to the cab, back to the cab of his rig. He carefully started tugging at the CD and, in a mere moments, held the CD in his hands. The trucker removed the tape, crossed his fingers in the hopes it was virus-free, and put it into his laptop. When he opened the files up, he saw pictures of Niles that were actually videos. The trucker clicked on one of them. When the video uploaded, Niles' digital image said, "O Muslim, O slave of Allah, Muhammad is the messenger of Allah." I thought I'd tell you that, just in case you never heard that before. And Niles' image smiled wildly before freezing to a stop. When the trucker realized the guy was being sarcastic, he burst out laughing. When do they not hear Muhammad is the messenger of Allah? The trucker asked himself, and he burst out laughing again. As the trucker played more Neville videos in his rig, something was happening in the Las Vegas branch of the FBI. An FBI agent was at his desk, and when he got a call from someone claiming to be a Muslim, the G-Man asked the voice on the phone if he could give his name. There was hesitation. The voice on the phone answered in a bit of whisper. My name is Muhammad Farouk. I'm calling to tell you that this morning I watched a large propane truck go into the back of the which I attend mosque. Yeah, go to the back of the mosque. Back of the which I attend mosque, where I pretend to worship. I noticed that some of the Muslims from the mosque were removing placards from the sides of the tanker. They were also painting over the words that say propane and replacing it with the word milk. This may sound insane, but I think my fellow mosque members are up to no good. I believe they're planning something with that propane tank. It was just a couple days ago that they were doing the same with thing with a fuel tank, with a fuel truck. They seem to think that they seem to think that just by taking hazard placards off of a fuel truck, everyone will suddenly assume it's a harmless milk truck, for crying out loud. Isn't that stupid? I think they're crazy. I'd take this concern up with the Imam, but the Imam knows where I live. He knows where my children play. And worst of all, he probably knows that I'm a Muslim in name only. That I only became a Muslim so I wouldn't have to pay the jizya tax. Being that my hometown is now under Sharia. The G-Man gravely concerned asked, "You're not screwing with me, are you, buddy? You're not testing me to see if I'm a hater, are you? A hater, are you?" The voice claiming to be someone called Farouk said, "What? No, I really am. I'm really a Muslim. I'm not testing to see if you're a hater. There really is something going on with a propane truck down at my mosque. Please check it out and see if they aren't going to do something terror-related with it, okay?" There was hesitation in the G-Man's voice. Honestly, I really have nothing against Muslims or their faith. I'm not a hater at all, as a matter of fact. I'm thinking of becoming a Muslim to prove it. The man who called himself Farouk swore and hung up the phone. The G-Man looked around to see if he was being watched. He then pressed a button to call Farouk back. When the man answered, the G-Man said in a whisper, okay, I'll send a couple of agents over to check it out, but they have to be Muslim or it will be my job. I may be seen as a hater, but at least I'll be alive. It wasn't long after the G-Man hung up that a man dressed in Muslim garb walked up to him and asked, what was the complaint? The G-Man said, it was about some truck. It sounded like nothing. Good, said the Muslim man in Islamic garb. That's what we like to hear around here when it deals with Muslims. The Muslim superior smiled at the G-Man, patting him on his balding head, and left his cubicle. Lord, please don't send me to hell for bowing to that black stone. The G-Man prayed with a look of great depression. And as the G-Man fantasized about taking a rocket ride to some planet without Islam, Daniel took the truck down the snowy grade of Highway 6 while noticing that the snow on the road was beginning to melt. He looked down near the stick shift and saw 5 bullets stuck in the shield he held up. I beat you, said a nervous Sally. Mine has 5 bullets stuck in it. Daniel looked over at Sally and said, please get those videos. Please get those things on video. I am, said Sally, trying to keep her hand steady. Daniel then said, his voice jittery from the cold. Oh, yeah. His voice jittery from the cold air blowing in from the bullet holes and the fact that he had somehow escaped to death. Pretty soon, I'll be able to floor it. But it's going to be strange using chains on a road with no snow. I have no idea what it will be like to drive on the bare road with no chains. Daniel looked in what was left of his mirrors and saw the SUV falling behind it. The Kenworth was falling behind the SUV. A voice came over the CB. We know you are very good at not letting us pass you. And you are so far lucky at keeping bullets from hitting you. But you will have to stop eventually, where Quran 911 will be obeyed. You are starting to run out of snow for those chains. Speak for yourself, countered Daniel as he tried to adjust the heater. But we are hauling weight. You are. But we aren't hauling weight. You are. And when you stop, you will be in hellfire when we kill you. The flash drive will then be ours. Daniel moved his CB close to his mouth. Moved his CB closer to his mouth and said, "Of course it will. And the reason why is because you worship a thin-skinned evil monster god who causes doubt in the minds of the rational, who know the sun doesn't need to ask permission of Allah to rise again, nor do you have to bother washing your nose out 3 times because, nor do you have to bother washing your nose out 3 times because a ubiquitous Satan is sleeping in the upper interior of it. You have to kill me because your monster god, Allah, is so damn thin-skinned that it can't take any form of questioning. Which is considered insult and slander to this guy Mo, who screwed a 9-year-old and allows for rape in front of husbands who aren't Muslim. Hearing that caused a lot of angry shouting at the CV. Daniel went on with, "What's it say about a religion when its God is so thin-skinned that if you question or expose its very own words in a critical manner, you have to die? Does that kind of religion sound noble, good, and honest to you? Is that a religion worth killing for? Is that a religion worth lying for?" I voiced and tried to change the subject by saying, "We can have you arrested and shipped off to Pakistan, where you will never be seen again, for not only being a hater, but for having guns and a cannon in your truck. By the way, why a cannon? It's not a very good weapon." Oh crap, I went over 60 minutes. You know, I don't want to read it again, but what the heck. I'll just get the timer. I don't want to read this again. Don't.